Welcome to the Audacity Files. I'm Simone, your lead detective, investigating the mixed signals, situationships, and unanswered questions that make modern dating feel like an unsolved crime. Every investigation has one: a witness, a suspect, a victim, and then there's the informant. The person who's supposed to help, but somehow leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew. Today's case involves one younger man, one very convincing friend, one devastating lie, and one detective who still hadn't recovered from case file number 1. This is case file number 2, the informant. Let's fast forward to the year 2016. I'm now 24 years old. I've lived in New York for about 2.5 years at this point, and I finally felt like I was getting my life back together after a major car accident that I had less than a year after moving. I've made some new friends, started a new volunteer work, and that kept me busy and super happy. I was working at David's Bridal, selling wedding dresses, teaching Zumba on the side. I was hustling. I was also hopping on the Hallyu wave, loving all things K-pop and K-drama related. Things started looking up for me, except for the fact that I randomly started dealing with the most severe acne I had ever experienced. This was tough for me because when I was younger, my skin was pretty clear except for the occasional massive zit on the tip of my nose. Because of this, my confidence took a huge blow. But I was in the best physical shape of my life, so you can't have everything, am I right? I bring up the acne because it suddenly became everyone's business. People in my life had good intentions, but they were also very invested in finding a way to fix me. Everywhere I went, someone had a new remedy, new advice, new medication recommendation that I hadn't asked for. After a while, it became exhausting. I slowly started withdrawing from people, which was especially hard because I'm a natural extrovert. I genuinely thrive on being around other people, so hiding away didn't feel like me at all. I found myself reaching out to and visiting acquaintances in neighboring towns. It gave me a chance to meet people who hadn't known me before the acne, so I could build friendships without feeling like everyone was comparing my face to how it used to look. One time, I visited Daniela, who lived about half an hour away from me. She had a meeting to attend, so we decided to go together and then hang out after. When the meeting was over, there was a guy that made a beeline directly for me. I was very awkward and didn't want to make eye contact with anyone those days because I felt like their eyes were scanning my face and pitying me, not actually listening to anything I said. If you've ever dealt with acne, you know exactly what I'm talking about. As he got closer, my heart started pounding, but there was nowhere to run to without being even more awkward.
Hi, my name's Henry. I just wanted to welcome you. I don't think we met before.
Hi, I'm Simone. This is my first time here. I met Daniela last year at a teaching seminar, and we kind of stayed in touch since then, but we haven't really had a chance to hang out. She invited me to come visit her, so here I am.
Oh, nice. Well, don't wait for an invitation from her to come again. You're always welcome.
Thanks. I gotta go now, but it was nice meeting you. When I tell you I kept trying to avoid meeting his eyes, but they were so warm, and when we shook hands, he held mine tightly, which almost forced me to look up at him. Let me interject here for a moment. Most people have a type, but apparently I don't. I've never been known for being interested in the conventionally attractive guys in my adult life. Beauty apparently really is in the eye of the beholder when it comes to me. But Henry was nothing like the rest. Witness description: mixed half black, half white, 6 feet tall, extremely broad, fluffy curly hair, big round brown eyes, a smile to melt even your grandma. Needless to say, I went to catch up with Daniela since we hadn't seen each other in a while. After we finished hanging out, we had one of those parking lot conversations that lasted around 3 hours while our keys in one hand, car door open, one foot in the car. You know those conversations.
I am shocked out of my mind.
Why?
I've known Henry for about 2 years, and I have not once seen him interact with any girls. He is always talking to old people and helping them out. He's super focused, but I saw he went right up to you. What did he say?
Nothing out of the ordinary. He just introduced himself and made sure I knew I was welcome to visit any time.
That's gotta mean something. He must be interested in you.
Nope. I refuse to ever assume that a guy is interested in me unless they directly tell me. I've had crazy experience in the past and I will not go through that again. Daniela and I said our goodbyes and that was that. I really didn't give Henry much thought after the first time meeting him because, let's be real, it was just an introduction, nothing to write home about. Over time, after seeing a dermatologist and trying different medicines, my acne finally cleared up, and I was back to feeling like my old self again. And it showed. My confidence grew, and so I made more friends and started hanging out more. One day, my friend Carlos invited me for a bonfire at his parents' house. I'm not the biggest fan of bonfires, but people in New England love them, so I went. Pause. Does anyone else feel like the wind intentionally blows the smoke directly towards you and only you? Because that's what happened to me. Exactly. So I was playing Ring Around the Rosies with the fire pit, and everywhere I moved, the smoke was blowing in my eyes. That being said, I could never really get comfortable enough, and I really couldn't see who all was there.
Simone?
I heard someone say my name, but I was so busy fighting the smoke that I didn't really look up when I replied. Yeah, that's me.
It's been what, 5 or 6 months since I last saw you? How are you?
I looked up, and it was Henry. I have a knack for remembering people's names, but him remembering my name caught me off guard. Wow, you remembered my name? I've been good, just farting the smoke. No big deal.
How could I forget you? Let's sit over there. Doesn't seem like there's much wind or smoke on that swing over there.
Okay, sounds good. How could I forget you? That played through my mind a million times in the 10 seconds it took for us to walk over to the swing. Let's take a minute and collect some evidence. Henry remembered my name 5 months after only meeting me once. Now, detectives, would you remember someone's name after one conversation? Is this no big deal? What could that mean? Was I getting ahead of myself again? I thought we learned that overthinking and fantasizing gets us nowhere. Okay, stay calm. We started talking and found out a lot about each other over the course of the night. He was a small town guy from Minnesota, and I felt at ease talking with him, especially since I felt better about myself than before. I could actually focus on listening to what he had to say instead of just wondering if he was looking at my acne and finding it repulsive. He told me about his goals in life, and he seemed to have a whole plan on how to make it a reality, which was very impressive. Henry was such a gentleman and very attentive. If he noticed my drink was getting low, he would offer to get another. If the smoke seemed to be getting in my eyes, he would fan it away or try to block it. The more we talked, the more we realized we had similar interests. He was a big fan of K-dramas, which wasn't as mainstream in 2016 as it is now. We both were pretty big into working out. We both like learning new languages, and he even knew a bit of Cambodian, the language that I've been studying. Then it came out that he was only 21. Mind you, 24 and 21 really isn't a big age gap, but I was the girl who always said I would never be interested in anyone that was even a day younger than me. But here we were. I wondered if this would be a problem, but he really gave off a sense of maturity, so I looked past it and decided not to judge him before really getting to know him. When the night came to an end, we didn't make any plans to see each other again. We went on our separate ways, and I thought if nothing else, I came away from that night with a new friend. But a friend, if we found ourselves in each other's company again. I did say to myself that if we ran into each other again, I would definitely want to make plans. Only 2 days later, Carlos invited me over to watch The Sandlot. I hadn't seen it in years, so I was happy to go. He said it wouldn't be a big group, just his brother, sister, and 4 others, including me. When I walked in, you wouldn't believe who was sitting on the couch. None other than Henry. It's a sign! What are the chances of seeing him again so soon? Okay, keep it cool, Simone. We're just watching a movie, no big deal.
Simone? What are the odds of running into you again?
Well, the odds are pretty high since the last time we saw each other was at Carlos's parents' place, so it's not too unexpected to see you again here at Carlos's place. Okay, detectives, was that nice to say? We might have ourselves an issue. I tried to come off cool and confident, but it sounded a little rude. I wanted to be nonchalant, but it didn't come out the right way at all.
Fair point. Well, there's room on the couch if you want to sit here.
Sure, but I'll warn you, I do talk during movies. I try not to, but it always ends up happening.
Great, because I do the same. Has everyone seen this movie already?
It wasn't anyone's first time seeing it, so he took that as a green light.
Go ahead and talk as much as you want. Then I won't have to wonder what you're thinking.
Ever since dealing with the issue of fake friends from case file number one, I've had this fear that people secretly hate being around me. So it's not that I needed his permission to talk or just be myself, but it made me feel like I wasn't a nuisance to be around. He wanted me just to be myself without stifling my personality. We enjoyed the movie and actually had many of the same reactions. After the movie was over, I told myself I definitely wanted to hang out with him again because he makes me feel comfortable and safe to be me. I really like talking with you.
I like talking with you too. You're fun to be around.
You're killing me, Smalls. Okay, you know what? I don't want to leave it to chance for us to hang out again. I'm having people over on Saturday. Do you want to come?
Sure. Actually, I told myself if I get a chance to see you again, I wanted to plan something because I really like being around you.
Was I actually having a party on Saturday? Absolutely not. Was it only Tuesday? Yes. Did I suddenly have only 4 days to convince enough people to come over so I didn't look like I invented an entire event just to see Henry again? Also, yes. But guess what? The greatest party he ever went to was going to be happening on Saturday, come rain or shine. So straight to Pinterest I went, and I found all kinds of cool recipes, and I even made my own sangria for the night. Everything came together pretty well. At the time, I was staying in the basement apartment of my friend Carly, so I knew I could count on her and her brother at least to be there. I made sure to tell Daniela and Carlos that they had to come so he had some familiar faces around when he walked in. I needed some people I knew and trusted to be there to snap me out of it if I seemed delusional. Word got around, and around 15 people ended up coming to my last minute party. I just hoped no one talked about when they got the invitation because then it would be awkward. When Henry showed up, he definitely didn't come empty handed. Apparently, he has a secret talent. The man can cook. He brought a huge batch of homemade barbecue wings, and let me tell you, they were incredible. Seeing him walk through the door with food he'd actually taken the time to make just did something to me. I was unexpectedly put at ease. I wasn't sitting there wondering if I had imagined his interest in me. He not only made sure to be there, but he took time to make food. Even if he had just picked up a bag of chips, I probably would have been impressed, but this knocked it out of the park for me. What made it even more obvious was the fact that two other guys I'd been interested in at different points were also at the party. Nothing ever came from either of those situations because we were definitely better off as friends. But the moment Henry arrived, they suddenly seemed a lot more interested in getting my attention. It was almost like they sensed they had competition. But the funny thing was, Henry didn't seem the least bit concerned with them. He wasn't trying to prove anything or be super macho. Instead, he was just himself and then kind of became a co host to the party. He checked on everyone, helped wherever he could, and kept asking if there was anything I needed. When the topic of age came up, one of the guys said something that threw me for a loop.
Simone, what's this? You 25? You think you still got some gas left in the tank at least?
What? I couldn't believe he would say that. Yes, I had a quarter life crisis when I hit 25, but by no means was I out of gas. I think my face showed how appalled I was, and then Henry stepped in.
I think she hasn't even hit her prime yet. She'll keep getting better as she gets older because 25 is far from being old, you know?
Well, I was sold. By the end of the night, after everyone else had gone home, he stayed behind to help me clean up. Detectives, I know the bar is on the ground and sometimes beneath it these days, but does anyone else see the big green flag waving? Just me?
This was a great night. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm glad we could have a chance to hang out. I'm hoping we can do it again, but on a smaller scale to get to know each other better. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'd like that. I tried so hard to hold back my excitement, but that's how it started. Simple as that. Well, detectives, that's all for today. Don't forget this is still a case file, so that means that something went wrong. Make sure to tune in for the next episode, part 2 of case file number 2. We have to be introduced to our new character, the informant, and let's see how we got some misinformation that led to a catastrophe. I'll see you next time on the Audacity Files.